Polling for Phase 4 of Assembly election in West Bengal underway. Polling being held in 44 constituencies across 5 districts in the 4th phase. Security forces resort to firing after violence breaks out at polling booth in Cooch Behar. Election Commission adjourns polling at polling station number 126 of Sita Kulchi in Cooch Behar. Campaigning in full swing for remaining phases of assembly elections in West Bengal. Prime Minister holds election rally at Siliguri and Nadia. Leaders from other political parties also on campaigning spree. India's vaccination coverage nears 10 crore mark. Meanwhile, number of cases continue rising. Maharashtra imposes weekend lockdown. Rajasthan extends duration of night curfew. Election Commission issues strict instructions to follow COVID protocol during election campaigning. In international news, US President Joe Biden unveils $1.5 trillion budget proposal. The massive proposal, which focuses on health, education and climate, is a precursor to its official financial year 2022 budget proposal. Namaskar and welcome. You're watching News Connect on DD India. In the next 1 hour, we'll get you all the top trending national, international stories, news coming in from the world of sports, business, entertainment and much more. But first up on News Connect, let's talk about the news and developments on the election front. And first up in West Bengal, voting is underway for the 4th phase assembly elections in 44 assembly seats of North and South Bengal today as we speak. As per Election Commission of India, over 66% votes have been polled till now. The special facilities being provided at the polling stations include mandatory sanitization of polling station, thermal checking of voters at entry points, either by polling staff or paramedical staff or an ASHA worker. Out of 44 seats, 11 seats in South 24 Parganas, 10 in Hooghly, 9 in Howrah are witnessing voting in South Bengal today. While voters across 9 assembly seats in Cooch Behar and 5 in Alipurdwar districts are also exercising their franchise, about 373 candidates are in the fray and the polling will conclude across 5 districts at 6:30 p.m. today evening. Meanwhile, campaigning for the 5th phase is also on in full swing, with leaders of the BJP and Trinamool Congress leaving no stone unturned to woo the electorate. Prime Minister Modi addressed election rally in Siliguri this afternoon. Addressing people, he said TMC is losing West Bengal while BJP is winning the elections.
नॉर्थ बंगाल की इस धरती ने आज ऐलान कर दिया है, टीएमसी सरकार जा रही है, बीजेपी सरकार आ रही है। बंगाल में नववर्ष शुरू होने वाला है। नववर्ष में बुराई पर अच्छाई की जीत होने जा रही है, बीजेपी की जीत होने जा रही है।
Prime Minister Modi also said that time has come to witness change in the political environment of West Bengal, adding that BJP will ensure a syndicate-free West Bengal.
बंगाल में दशकों से जिस तरह का राजनीतिक वातावरण बना दिया गया है, वो बदलने का समय आ गया है। अब 16 मुक्त बंगाल बनेगा। अब सिंडिकेट मुक्त बंगाल बनेगा। अब कटबनी मुक्त बंगाल बनेगा।
And in more news, violence rocked Cooch Bihar's Sita Kuchi Assembly constituency in poll-bound West Bengal today. 4 people were dead in the clashes, including an 18-year-old first-time voter. The incident took place around 8 a.m. within an hour after the polling in 44 constituencies took off. Meanwhile, Election Commission has adjourned polling at polling station 126 of Sital Kuruchi Assembly constituency in Cooch Bihar. And reacting on the incident, Prime Minister Modi termed this incident saddening and condoled the demise. He was addressing a rally in Siliguri. He urged the Election Commission to take stern action against the guilty.
दीदी और टीएमसी की मनमानी बंगाल में नहीं चलने दी जाएगी। मेरा चुनाव आयोग से आग्रह है कि कूच बिहार में जो हुआ उसके दोषियों पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई हो। और दीदी, ये हिंसा लोगों को सुरक्षा बलों पर आक्रमण करने के लिए उकसाने के तरीके, चुनाव प्रक्रिया में रोड़े अटकाने के तरीके दीदी आपको नहीं बचा पाएंगे। आपके 10 साल के कुकर्मों से ये हिंसा आपकी रक्षा नहीं कर सकती है।
Okay, let's quickly go across to my colleague Anir Brato, who is joining us live from Jadavpur in West Bengal to tell us more about the electioneering there. And okay, Anir Brato, good evening to you. First of all, what is the latest that you are picking up from ECI, taking a strong cognizance of the Cooch Bihar incident? In fact, Prime Minister in one of his rallies in Siliguri has also in strong possible terms condemned and condoled the incident. What more are you picking up? Any action initiated on the miscreants?
Actually, Shakal, as you know, amidst unprecedented security cover and, largest presence of the Central Force Jawans in the polling booths, Bengal is undergoing the 4th phase election this time. Unfortunate incident had befallen in Sital Kuchi in Cooch Bihar. As you know, the 4-person, died in firing. So this certainly, it's indeed a very unfortunate incident and saddening. The Election Commission has taken the cognizance of this thing, and polling is is postponed there. The thing is that who is responsible for this thing is to be taken into account. But by and large, BJP and Trinamool Congress is castigating each other for this incident. As you know, the West Bengal poll is a historic juncture where BJP is facing Trinamool Congress this time, and khela hobe and khela hoye geche, game will be played and game is over. That set the tone of the election, and virtually it this actually. This moribund situation may be the outcome of this thing.
Yes, a quick overview, 4th phase polling underway as we speak, although the hectic campaigning is already gaining a lot of traction for the next phase in West Bengal. That's the 5th phase. But a quick update on the overall voter turnout. Overall voter turnout, hello? It's around 410. Yes, can you hear us?
Hello.
Anir Brato, can you hear us?
I'm getting in audio.
Anir Brato? Okay, we'll try and go back to Jadavpur there live. Anir Brato joining us. Meanwhile, staying with the news coming on the West Bengal elections, 4th phase poll. Meanwhile, some more news coming in from the Election Commission. The guidelines there amid rising coronavirus cases. The Election Commission has flagged instances of star campaigners and political leaders not wearing masks while campaigning, and have also asked them to follow in all seriousness the guidelines on COVID appropriate behavior issued by it last year. So in a letter to the leaders of all recognized political parties, the poll panel has stressed on the following points: that non-compliance of instructions during the period of public interface will attract action. Taking a serious view of the laxity in maintaining the norms, the EC said that by not following the guidelines, the political parties and candidates are exposing themselves as well as the public attending such election meetings to the grave danger of infection. It is also observed that political parties are expected to be torchbearers for the campaign against COVID. The poll panel has asserted that leaders must demonstrate by their personal example and nudge all supporters in the beginning of the rally meetings. Campaign itself to wear masks, use sanitizers and put in place crowd control measures as well as social distancing norms. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has said that the deadlock over the ongoing farmers' agitation will end the day the leaders of farm unions decide to sort out the issue. He said that the centre is ready for talks with the farmer unions and the door is always open for them.
मैं आपके माध्यम से किसान संगठनों को कहना चाहता हूं कि वो आंदोलन का रास्ता छोड़ें। सरकार चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है, वो अपना प्रस्ताव लेकर आएं। हम लोग मिल बैठकर चर्चा करेंगे और मुद्दों का समाधान करेंगे। आज कोविड का संकट भी है और इतनी बड़ी भारी भीड़ में लोग बैठे हुए हैं। इस धरने के कारण, रास्ता जाम के कारण दूसरे नागरिकों के मौलिक अधिकारों का भी हनन हो रहा है, वो भी परेशानी भुगत रहे हैं और इसलिए हमको यूनियंस को बड़े मन से विचार करके आंदोलन को स्थगित करना चाहिए, कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना चाहिए और जब भी वो आएंगे तो भारत सरकार उनके साथ पूरे सम्मान के साथ और पूरे व्यापक दृष्टिकोण के आधार पर खुले मन से चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है।
And talking of vaccination drive in the country, the cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country is nearing the 10 crore mark. Total of 9 crore 80 lakh 75,160 vaccine doses have been administered so far. Total of 34 lakh 15,055 vaccine doses were given till 8 p.m. yesterday. That's the 84th day of the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive. And now let's take a look at the COVID-19 update from across the country. Now, as per the Union Health Ministry, these are the numbers on your screen. 77,567 recoveries were recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 1 crore 19 lakh 19,859. Total recovery so far. And with this, the recovery rate currently stands at 90.80%. And India's active caseload stands at over 10.46 lakh today. That is about 10 lakh. The country's present active caseload consists of 7.93% of the total cases that have been reported so far. And with that, the fatality rate has come down to 1.28%. So with the second wave of COVID-19 in India, several cities are now implementing strict restrictions to curb the spread of the disease, from night curfews and weekend lockdowns to shutdowns in many public places. In Mumbai, night curfew has been imposed from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. on weekdays and complete weekend lockdowns from 8 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Monday until 30th April. And during these hours, no one is allowed to be out in public without a valid reason. The rule exempts essential services workers. Also, not more than 5 people are allowed to gather between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. on weekdays as well. My colleague Shishir joining us live from Mumbai with more updates on how the Mumbai city is coping up. Now, Shishir, good evening. How is it now? Has the situation been brought under control? By and large, weekend lockdown being imposed? And the other strict measures that have been put in place by the state government to contain the situation?
Well, absolutely, Sakal. Looking at these numbers, it doesn't look like that the situation is under control, because every day Mumbai is witnessing almost 50,000 cases here. If you talk about yesterday's number, is almost 58,000 plus cases that Mumbai, the Maharashtra has registered. Out of which Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, these are some of the tier 1 cities from Maharashtra registering the maximum numbers, and that's what quite a worrying factor for the state government. In spite of the various strict actions being taken by the state government, it's been 1 week now. Last Monday, the government had implemented section 144 during the daytime and night curfew during the evening time, during the night time, and a mini lockdown, that is a weekend lockdown, has also been announced by the government. In spite of that, we have seen that number has not reduced here, and that's the reason Chief Minister has called in a meeting today, that all-party meet where various leaders from different parties, from BJP, then obviously the Raj Thakre from MNS, from Congress, all these leaders will be meeting via video conferencing and probably discuss the way ahead that what could be the possible solution that Maharashtra may contain these numbers. The reason behind this meeting, Sakal, let me tell you that though the government have said that they want to take a stern action and they want to follow the SOP quite strictly, the people have been saying that this is not just stringent rules that the government is following. It's probably a lockdown. And the same words have been echoed by some of the opposition party as well. And that's the reason to build consensus with all political parties. The Chief Minister have convened this meeting and probably will discuss the current situation in Maharashtra and also try to find out what possible ways, if there is any, that probably all the parties can build consensus and go forward. As I told you about, situation is quite grim here. It's not just the numbers are increasing, but at the same time, the vaccination is a major problem in Maharashtra.
I was coming to that. Now, the vaccination, as per the Chief Minister also, it seems the availability of vaccine is it's sort of a bit of an issue as per the state government. There also, although the centre has assured and ensured that there is an equitable supply to the states, especially which are reeling under severe COVID numbers. Now, what about the vaccination and also the vaccination across Maharashtra, especially in those red zones?
Well, absolutely. Numbers. If you look at the numbers of vaccine so far, Maharashtra has crossed almost 1 crore 40 or 50 lakh numbers. Doses have been given by the centers to Maharashtra. Now, this is the maximum number given by the center to any other state. But obviously, there's some reason behind it because Maharashtra is witnessing a maximum number, and that's the reason Maharashtra required more vaccine. That's what the state government is saying. And if you look at on an average, each day, Maharashtra is administering almost 3 to 4 lakh vaccine a day. And that's the reason the state government saying that probably they need some more vaccine from the center to administer the vaccine to the people among the state here. And that's the reason there has been a kind of word of spread between the state and the center. The state health minister has said recently that they need at least 40 lakh vaccine per week so that they can match up the speed. And they can administer the vaccine to the people. That's what he said. But looking at this point in time, it seems that the vaccine that currently Maharashtra has, it's quite a small number and probably lasts for next couple of days. And that's the reason at many locations in Maharashtra, including some of these small districts, remote areas, the vaccination drive has been stopped because there has been no vaccines left in these areas. As far as the tier 1 cities are concerned, like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, there have been some of the places where vaccine is available. But at many places, and especially the small areas, the vaccination drive has been almost stopped at various locations here. So this is one problem that state government is talking about. The second important thing is that the center has recently, just a couple of days back, has sent a letter to the state stating that they're going to supply 17 lakh vaccines to the state government, and those vaccines the state will get by 15th of April. Now again, the state health minister said that if state has to wait till 15th of April, that means at some of the places, the state will have to stop the vaccination because they don't have that much stock that will survive the 15th of April. And that's the reason they want the vaccine as soon as possible from the center. That's what the request made from state health minister to the union health minister as well. And union health minister have also given assurance that the state will get required vaccine very soon. So that's one part that vaccination we're talking about. But there's not just a problem of vaccine. Today's time, if you look at the entire situation in Maharashtra, the biggest problem also is the ventilators and the oxygen beds. Currently, if you look at the situation, the 50,000 cases Maharashtra is registering every day. Though at this point in time, Maharashtra have a stock of oxygen and ventilators, but if this number keep increasing in the future as well, then probably Maharashtra may run out of oxygen and the ventilators as well. And that's the reason they have also requested center government to intervene in this and make available the oxygen beds also, and the ventilators also. The state government is also requesting the neighboring states also, if they can help with the oxygen and ventilators, because currently looking at these numbers, the adjoining state to Maharashtra has a very less number of positive cases, and that's the reason the state probably requests the neighboring state also to provide oxygen and ventilators if required.
All right, Shishir, thank you very much for joining us live from Mumbai. You also take care of yourself, and thank you for those quick inputs. And from Mumbai, let's now shift our focus to Rajasthan, where in Rajasthan, also to prevent the surge in COVID-19 cases, state government has imposed night curfew in 8 cities of Rajasthan with effect from Saturday till 30th of April. As per an order by the Rajasthan government, night curfew has been imposed in 9 cities: Ajmer, Alwar, Bhilwara, Chittorgarh, Dungarpur, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Kota and Abu Road, starting from 8 in the evening to 6 in the morning. Although in Udaipur, the night curfew will start from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. My colleague Dharmesh is joining us from Jaipur with more updates. Dharmesh, good evening. Over to you. First of all, these 8 states that are under scanner, and in fact, state government has put in some very strict COVID control measures, but the implementation of it is very important. A quick update on the overall situation, especially in the containment zones.
You see, the state government has set up the round the clock helpline. Along with that, the state authorities have taken few strict measures. First of all, they have asked all the medical health and health departments to identify the places where the corona is spreading fast, and they have also asked the state authorities have also asked they have directed the district authorities to identify the hotspots and declare them as mini containment zones. Apart from that, state government has also decided to stop regular classes in school up to 9 classes in rural areas adjoining the urban area. Apart from that, night curfew has been imposed in 10 cities, including Jaipur, to combat the spread of virus. These cities are Ajmer, Alwar, Bhilwara, Chittorgarh, Dungarpur, Jodhpur, Kota, and Abu Road. In these cities, the curfew will be from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., while in Udaipur, the curfew will be from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And this curfew will remain up to 30th of April. Apart from that, if you see the scenario, overall scenario, the overall figures by Friday, more than 3,970 new cases, which is again a record if you see the whole state. And if you see the situation of the capital, 767 corona positive patients were identified. Again, that is a record. So this is the whole scenario.
What about the vaccinations? What about the vaccination drive?
The vaccination around 95.76 lakh people have been vaccinated, and 84.6 lakh got their first dose, while 11.30 lakh got their second dose. Apart from that, by Friday, 4.21 lakh people got vaccination in the state. This includes 2.71 lakh people aged 45 and above.
Okay. All right, Dharmesh Bharti, that's all we have time for. Of course, take care of yourself and thank you for joining us for those inputs from Rajasthan. Meanwhile, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today addressed Homeopathy Roadmap for Integrated Medicine conference organized by Central Council for Research in Homeopathy in Vigyan Bhavan. The event was attended by renowned doctors and scientists in the field of Ayush. The event witnessed launch of several new portals which will lead the way forward in this domain. Union Minister Harshvardhan said that our national health policy should lay stress on Ayush through increased development in the domain.
National Health Policy of India recognizes the need to nurture Ayush systems of medicine through the development of infrastructural facilities of teaching institutions, improving quality control of drugs, capacity building of institutions as well as professionals, and generating quality research evidence.
The minister also said that Ayush proved to be a vital source of diagnosis during the COVID times.
As a result of the intervention of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and Ministry of Ayush, use of Ayush systems of medicine was permitted for COVID-19 in an integrated manner in designated COVID treatment centers, and this has in turn provided encouraging results. As a result of the intervention of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and Ministry
And let's move on and get you some other news. 3 rhino calves, 2 females and a male that were rescued during the 2019 floods were released into the wild in Manas Tiger Reserve. Now rescued by the Assam Forest Department and the IFAWWTI vets from Centre for Wildlife Rehabilitation and Conservation at Kaziranga. These rhino calves have undergone a protocol of rehabilitation for 2 years before they were translocated to Manas Tiger Reserve. 2 females were rescued from Hatimura and Kuthiri area, whereas the males were rescued from Solmara during the Kaziranga floods that hit Kaziranga in July-August. All 3 had undergone health checkups reportedly and marking before they were released. And on News Connect, it's time for the stories coming in from the world of business. Well, a Union Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, participated in the 103rd meeting of the Development Committee plenary via video conferencing yesterday. In her intervention at the session, the Finance Minister stated that we are all engaged in steering our economies and people safely out of COVID-19 pandemic. The Government of India has taken several measures to contain the spread of pandemic and also to mitigate its social and economic impact, including a series of economic stimulus packages in the last 1 year. She has also urged World Bank to explore the possibility to sustain crisis response, keeping in mind the debt sustainability of vulnerable countries and financial sustainability of the WBG.
To mitigate its social and economic impact through a series of economic stimulus packages in the last 1 year. These packages were meant not only to provide social protection to the poor and the vulnerable, but also to push forward the economic reforms, including, but not just limited to, rationalization of labor laws, redefinition of MSMEs, commercialization of mineral sector, privatization of public sector undertakings and national portability of food ration cards.
Well, staying with business news, direct tax collections for the last financial year 2021 showed the growth of almost 5% despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Finance Ministry informed that the provisional figures of direct tax collections for the financial year 2021 show that net collections are at rupees 9.45 lakh crore. The direct tax collections include corporation tax and personal income tax. The ministry also informed that despite an extremely challenging year, the advanced tax collections for financial year 2021 stands at rupees 4.95 lakh crore, which shows a growth of approximately 6.7% of the advanced tax collections of the immediately preceding financial year of rupees 4.64 lakh crore. Also, the refunds amounting to rupees 2.61 lakh crore have been issued in the financial year 2021 as against refunds of rupees 1.83 lakh crore issued in the financial year 2019-2020, marking an increase of approximately 42.1% over the preceding financial year. Well, efforts to unionize Amazon.com warehouse workers in Alabama were defeated on Friday by a more than 2-1 margin in a major win for the online retailer. However, the union trying to organize workers was set to challenge the results, assailing the company's methods. As per the latest unofficial tally, 1,798 voted against forming a union with 738 ballots in favor. A simple majority is needed for victory, but both sides have the right to challenge the eligibility of ballots. Counting concluded and would next focus on adding up challenges in voided ballots, but the margin of victory may be too much to change the outcome. On News Connect, we slip into a very short break. On the other side, we have all the international stories lined up for you. Stay with us.
Namaste India.
Namaste land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
India.
Salam India.
Namaste India.
Namaskar Bharata.
Mui
Nous
India.
sommes land.
Nahnu hunud.
India.
Ma Hindi hasti.
Mung Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.